Hi everyone, welcome back to part 2 of my Patriotic truck door hanger. Hello again. It's still Wednesday. I'm still Tracy. This is still Country Charm by Tracy. I'm so glad that you're here. Hi everyone. So I had my craft round the clock segment today, and so we have 45 minutes to craft, and so yeah, that does not work well for me. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I just put so much stuff in. You know, I like to, that's why I'm calling these. Hi Erin, thank you so much for coming back. This is part 2 of my Patriotic red truck door hanger that I am going to be creating. And so I sent a message out to my texting community. You know, those of you that are on there, that's how you knew I was gonna do part 2. And guys, my texting community is free to you. It's a service that I pay for so that I can communicate with you. 979-316-7944. You can join it. You can contact, you know, through the texting service. You talk to me. There's no robot. There's no like automated stuff. Anyway, so I send out a text when I'm going to go live here on Facebook as well as YouTube. Hi, Karen. So, like I said, to this earlier at 12:15, it was my weekly segment for Craft Around the Clock, and they're 45-minute segments. If you're not familiar with Craft Around the Clock, it's a crafting group on Facebook that you can watch 24/7 crafting, either live or replays or all of that stuff. And so today was my day. I like to craft on Wednesdays in Craft Around the Clock. That was kind of like where it just like suited me the best. Anyway, and so I didn't get finished with my craft. So that's why I'm doing part 2. So I was, and then also there was an issue like with people saying they couldn't see, couldn't hear because it was, FB was messing up. And so I went back, and because I also upload all of my craft and chats to my YouTube channel, so I uploaded that with no issues and watched it back, and also watched it on Facebook to see if I could see the interruptions. I didn't have any interruptions, so that tells me FB is messing with us crafters. That's not good. That's not good. So I apologize that there was some issues. So as I was you know, thinking about everything still I needed to do, I said I'm going to do a recap. You know, like those cheesy drama shows, you know, well, I don't know, I guess maybe there are some that do that now anyway, but they're like, previously on Country Charm by Tracy, you saw, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so in part 1, I will have that link. You know, I'll make sure that, you know, if you want to watch part 1, but I'll kind of recap and tell y'all what we did. Is I painted this painted this board, and I'll tell you about that. What I used is, hey Janet, hi my favorite nannies, Nook Crafts. I had painted this board. I got this circle from the Dollar Tree. It is just a thin board. And so what I'm doing is a Patriotic red truck door hanger. And so also probably what I'll do is put it on a wreath, because I do design wreaths for a local business, and that's why, because they're the ones that contacted me and said, hey, can you make us some wreaths? And so I have like a special connection with them, and so that's why you know, I get requests about that, can people buy my wreaths, and do I have an Etsy shop? I do not. I only do wreaths because I sell them locally, because if they wouldn't sell, then I'm not sure if I would do wreaths. I don't know, but I've learned a lot of tips and tricks along the way. So that's why you see wreaths you see painting, you see, you know, different floral crafts, you see Cricut, you see a lot of different things like lettering and painting and, my mind's blank, and I like to work with scrapbook paper and stuff like that. And so, thanks, Erin. Erin said I'm hilarious. That's what I was thinking. I was like, previously on Country Charm by Tracy, you know, like the recap. Anyway, so then also we painted this truck, and I need to be careful because I went ahead and I painted the bumper. What I used, guys, is one of these trucks from the Dollar Tree. Now, they had these in the fall season, and if you can't find it and you want this size of truck in, there is a, in my link tree, let me find that. And a link tree is just, it's a website that you can, that's what it's called. It's called, the website is called Linktree. And so it's a service that they have that, you know, you can put all of your favorite links together. And so that's where you'll see a lot of your favorite crafters or your crafters, the people that you follow. I just put it in the the comments so that it's there, because if you click on that link, then all of my other platforms, all of my favorite links are there, like my Amazon shop, you know. So if I say this is in my Amazon shop, you know, you can go find that. Or if I say this is, you know, where you can find the free handwriting fonts that I have a list of, you know, there I have it listed, you know, listed out. There's like, so you can go scroll down and you can click on that blue box and it'll take you to my website for the free handwriting fonts that I have collected for dafont.com. Anyway, I also have a spot where it says free patterns. So what I did is because so many people cannot find these trucks, so what I did is I traced it out and I just uploaded a pattern to my blog, my website. And so then, you know, you can print it out just on regular cardstock or paper or whatever. And then you can draw it out on foam board, cardboard, cut it out of wood or some other kind of material that I'm not even thinking about. Anyway, so it's just something that I wanted to do for my community. And my community is here on Facebook or YouTube, Instagram, no matter where you're at. I wanted to be able to have something that I could direct my friends to say, this is where you find that, because I get private messages and they're like, where can I find your ribbon tail boards that you use? Because I use these ribbon tail boards to wrap my ribbon around when I'm going to make my wreaths. Well, I have, you know, I get these from, well, I bought them from Burlap Boutique. And so that link is in there. Then also, I just got these most amazing scissors from Deco Exchange. I'm a huge Deco Exchange fan. I have learned so much from his wreath making. They're just scissors, and I have been working with them for about a week now. OMG. OMG. So in my link tree is a link for Deco Exchange. I am an affiliate, but I promise to you is that I don't use or share anything that I'm not using myself. I'm not going to just say, here, go click on this link, you know. But an affiliate is just, I can earn a little bit commission if you were to purchase something, but it's really pennies. It really is. But that's just, I wanted to have a place where my community can find everything that they may need. So Pamela's asking, did you ever see any of your wreaths hanging on the doors all over Texas? Yes, Pamela. Well, I don't know about all over Texas, but in my hometown, I am delighted when I drive through and actually catch a wreath hanging on the door, because I just have a certain look that my wreaths are like. I can spot things from long ago that I'm like, that's one of mine, or that I painted that, you know. I can just kind of do. So it actually is very heartwarming and makes me feel so good. And so the wreath there, I mean, the gift shop that I designed for, like they want summer wreaths now. So that's why I'm doing honeybees and ladybugs, and I need to do some summer like with drinks and, you know, there's 5 o'clock somewhere and all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, so, thank you so much for watching here, or watching on Facebook, watching on YouTube, because I do greatly appreciate it. All right. So what I did, is I'm looking because this does have a hanger, a jute hanger on it. And so those little holes, oh, there they are right there. So what I did, guys, is I just did my faux plaid, I call it a faux plaid pattern. And I just used my, and that's in part 1 that, you know, that you can see. I just used my fan brush, and I used the drizzle gray, light gray, I think drizzle gray, and I just brushed it on. And I also, on YouTube, I do have a video that shares how I do my plaid back pattern, plaid background patterns. Anyway, so since this is patriotic, I just used my 1/2 inch flat paintbrush and went around. And during our commercial break, what I did is I went and used the end of my paintbrush. I just used just the end of one of my paintbrushes, and I dipped it into red paint, and I made some little dots in every single one of the in between the you know, little stripes or little pattern. And so I wanted to show you that, but I wanted to get that done because it takes me a little while, because I dip the end of my brush in every time, and then I make the dot. That makes my dots consistent. When I go and do the dot, you know, and then like do it multiple times, it makes the dot smaller. Well, I don't want that. I want my dots to be consistent. And so it takes a little bit of time, you know, it is a little tedious, but it's worth it on the end result. And so then it takes a little time for those little dots to dry, because, you know, it's paint. It's paint anyway. So, okay. So another thing that I did in part 1 is hand lettered this. This is just a board that I bought it in a pack. They're also in my Amazon store. So in my link tree is my Amazon store. You can go over there and you can, you know, click on my shop. I do have these in there. They were like, you know, raw wood. And so also in part 1, what I did is I messed up, because that's just white paint. But when I did not allow myself the right spacing for the lettering. So guess what? I messed up, and I did it live. And so that's why I just kind of wiped it off. I was going to repaint it, but I said, girl, just turn it over. So that's what I did. I painted this side red. We hand lettered it with, you know, just a 1/4 inch flat paintbrush. And yeah, that's what I did. And I kind of got off on my L a little bit. And so I said that I was going to clean that up, and I haven't done that yet. So I'll show you that right now. That's what I do. So I think that I have recapped everything from part 1. And so now we're on part 2. So let me bend you down, and we're going to finish this Patriotic red truck door hanger. Hi, Christine. Hi, Peggy. Thank y'all so much. Guys, this is part 2 of my Patriotic red truck. I had done part 1 earlier, but I was on a time limit because I was in on my segment of Craft Round the Clock, and so I needed to jump off at my 45 minutes. Anyway, so see right here is I got that L a little bit too wide, and so what I'm going to do is just take just a liner brush, and then I go and just kind of clean that up a little. I'm just using the same red paint. And so see, I cleaned that up a bit, And so then, therefore, it's done. And so I'm actually kind of glad that I had messed this part up so that I could share with my community, because sometimes people are so hard on themselves, guys. It has taken me many years to learn how to paint, to learn how to do this. And so I only share that just to be of encouragement to you that it's okay if it doesn't look like this. It's not perfect. I got my finger in there. That needed to be a little bit wider, but I don't let that discourage me from continuing, because it's okay if it's not perfect. If I would have messed this up, I would have repainted it, you know, just like I did this, you know, I just flipped it over. Anyway, so then I just put my happy dots on there. And then also I shared in my link tree, there is a handwritten fonts where you can practice the fonts. People always ask me, how can I learn how to hand letter? Just download fonts. Dafont.com is a free, you know, that's one of the places that I like to get my fonts from. You can, you know, install them on your computer, and then you can practice. You know, you can print out different words, you can print out all kind of different sayings, and then you can use graphite paper or tracing paper or something else to transfer your letters that you want to do in your space. So that's just my recommendations. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Christine. Thanks. Peggy says, nice tips for painting. Thanks, ladies, for joining me. Okay, so let's see. I want to finish this. Oh, and then, well, I think I said it. You know, there was issues with FB earlier with not, like it was freezing a lot, but on the replay, it's not frozen. So I don't know what's going on with FB. Anyway, this is my favorite color of brown to shade around my projects. And so I'm just going to put some of that. It's milk chocolate. And so I like to add some shading around my projects because I feel that it really gives some depth and dimension. And so I am using, let me see what brush this is. This is a number 12 flat paintbrush. It's in my favorite paint brush set that is in my Amazon shop. And so, you know, I am an Amazon affiliate, but like I said, I don't share anything that I don't use myself or will not use. Anyway, so that's what I really feel that just the little extras, you know, just by adding the shading around, just kind of brings out your projects. So see, you can kind of see, I was just trying to do one side so that you can kind of see the difference. And, you know, how you can just kind of see the difference. So now let me go over here. And over the years, I've kind of learned how to, you know, kind of pace it out. See how you can, you know, see, so I've done this side compared to this side. And see, this is just a look that I like. And, you know, if that's not a look that you like, you know, I just share ideas. And so if I got it a little bit too heavy, then I just kind of wipe it off or spread it out. I use lots of baby wipes. And so this is what I'm doing is, I don't know if I had said that, I dip half of my brush in paint, the other half in clean water. And then I like these shop towels that you can get in the automotive section from Walmart or wherever. And that's what I like to use to blend. Got a little paint on the other side. See, that's okay. We're just gonna keep going. So I just kind of shade on the, you know, kind of the underside, I guess is what you would say, call it. I don't know if it has a specific term. And so, you know, I have been doing these kind of toll painting for many years. And so it's just ingrained in me, and I just continue to do it. And so I know it's a bit old school, and it's a bit, you know, a lot of people kind of moved on from it, but I don't know, I just like it. And people continue to like to buy my wreaths and, you know, with my handmade country signs. And so as long as they do that, then I'll just continue to be painting and stuff. Like I had told this story before, I share the wreaths that I make for the gift shop. I don't sell on Etsy or anything like that, because if they would not have asked me to make some wreaths, I'm not sure if I would have got into the wreath making. Hi, Jamie. All right, thank y'all so much. And then if you would not, if you would be so kind as to spread the charm, that is greatly appreciated. So then that is how our sign is looking so far. See, like I said earlier, when I painted, I got my finger in there, but it's going to cover it up. So we're good. We're good. Okay. So here is my truck that I had done earlier, and in between our commercial break from part 1 to part 2, the first time around I had forgot to paint the bumper. So on this one I remembered, or I went back and I painted it so that it would be dry. And so let's see, now what I want to do is, let me see, I want to add a little bit of black, because sometimes when I add the black shading, it does, it kind of brings it out a little bit more. Let me tell you, I keep baby wipes and shop towels in business. So what I do is I just kind of shade with the black. So during my commercial break, I went and got some lunch. And so we have a, I usually just drink a soda at lunchtime, and I try to limit it to 1 a day. I'm trying. Anyway, I'm just shading this just like this, just to give it a little character, a little outline. Just like that. Anyway, so we have, it's outside, so I have to make a point to go outside to get one. Well, we have the refrigerator outside with all the drinks, the Sunny D, water, that kind of thing, because if it's inside, then I'm more prone to, you know, drink it. And I mean, I can just continuously drink the Sprite. Sprite is my favorite soda. Anyway, so of course my 15-year-old leaves a you know, package. I buy him the Sunny D that's like in the 18 or 24 pack. Well, there was an empty pack in there, and I'm like, really? Can you not throw this away? Well, you know, of course he can't. Well, he's at school. So I had I'm trying to find my white. That's what I was doing. So then now I want to put a little bit more doodles around there, just using my white acrylic paint. Anyway, so you know how the Sunny D comes in the pack. It has like the cardboard box and the little wrapping. Well, Luna, who is our, she's a little over a year old. She likes to play with everything. It's kind of windy here in Southeast Texas. And what I'm doing, guys, is I'm just adding a little bit more doodle around my areas now that I have this on here. Anyway, well, it kind of blew that plastic wrap around. Well, then she was playing with it, and she was like running from me. I'm like, bring that here. Bring that here. And she's like, no. And then she was like teasing me because she, you know, wanted to play a game. And I'm like, okay, well, I know how to fix you, because I wanted to come back on live here. I'm like, I know how to go. So like when I go inside, she knows what the treat bucket sounds like. And she's like, okay, I'll give you, I'll trade you, you know? And so I'm like, dogs are so smart. So smart. But I was laughing because I'm like, girl, I ain't got time to be doing this with you, because I got people waiting on me, because I have to, you know, do part 2. I'm like, I don't have time to be chasing you around the yard for this, with this plastic covering. And then, you know, I don't want her to swallow anything. So anyway, so my 15-year-old is going to get a good talking to. And she is actually his dog that we got last year when he was just having some issues. So this is how our truck is looking. This is one of those trucks that I got from the Dollar Tree. I just repainted. I just painted it red. We're going to be making this a sign, a door hanger. That's what we're going to do. And then this is going to be the tailgate. It's going to be the tailgate. All right. So she is his kind of his dog, his responsibility. And so I will put a guilt trip on him later when he gets home or whatever. Because, you know, to say, so he'll know that that was not a good choice. And I guess that's why I run out of time, because I do so many things with my projects. And the other day I had put out a question to my communities on Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram, and had asked on the craft and chat sessions. The craft and chat sessions are just when I craft live with y'all. And so just kind of chat with y'all. You know, you can leave me a comment. If I see your comment, I'll go back later and I read everything. And I try to acknowledge everyone's comment by either answering your question if you had a question, or you know, liking it, hearting it, that kind of thing. I love to hear where my community is from. So I love when you share where you're watching from. It just amazes me that we can connect over this United States as well as across the world. So then I'm just trying to make sure that everything's dry before I start doing that. So now I'm just going to be doing some doodling, because I like to do that as well. Just using a fine Sharpie marker, and that's kind of like my pen of choice. And so I just kind of go around and just add some doodling. I don't make it straight. I just kind of go around, just kind of little whimsical, and it's not perfect, so that makes me happy. I'm not aiming for perfect. I just want, you know, things to look nice. So then, I don't know if you can really see that on camera, but I can see it here. And then also I'll go here and just kind of where my faux plaid pattern is, I'll just kind of add some lines. And, you know, just kind of not really just make it perfect, but just kind of have some kind of sense to it. Anyway, so that's how that looks like that. And then for around this, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera, but once I post my pictures, you may be able to see it a little bit more. I'm just taking my black Sharpie marker and just going around the edges just to make them pop a bit, not being too precise. Sometimes I mess up on this part as well, and I have to fix it with my paint. Just like that. It just kind of like breaks it up just a bit. That's kind of my thoughts, my thought process. Anyway, so I keep looking at this because, or maybe if I look at the back, okay, maybe I need to, this is my point, because my hanger, this is the top because it has the holes in it. Anyway, I got that at the Dollar Tree. All right. So then another thing I like to do is paint splatter. I like to do that. And I've been trying to share this every time, like if you watch my videos, you're like, oh my goodness, you keep repeating yourself. The reason that I do is because I was thinking that everyone kind of, you know, just kind of got it. Well, then I found out they didn't get it. And so I use a stiff stencil brush. You know, some use a old toothbrush, that kind of, anything that's stiff and a stick, that's just my choice. And so then the paint splatter, I just dip my brush in paint and then I just go across the bristles. I make sure that my table is covered. That's the reason, is because I would get comments and messages to say, I tried your paint splattering, but it got all over my rug. It got all over my table. And I'm like, oh my goodness, no, you need to cover it. I need to cover, because paint splatter is messy. So I felt awful. So that's why I've been trying to repeat myself, only because I felt bad. I'm like, oh my goodness, no, please cover your area. And then also I just go across the bristles one time toward my body so that the paint then projects onto my project. And usually I do black and then I go back over it with white. And like I said, I'm just using a stiff stencil brush. And so I'm going to try to focus on the blue, because since the background is painted black, white, it's not going to show up quite as much. And so it'll really show up on this red. And so I don't know, I just like that look, and I just try to stay true to myself because that is what I like. All right. So we're going to let that dry for just a second. Oh, and then also earlier this morning I had shared this is going to give me the dimension underneath my tailgate. These are my headlights, and not headlights, tail lights for my truck. And I had picked up this tip from Alyssa from Southern Crafts Corner. She has a stick that she glues her stuff onto and to paint. And so just with hot glue, and then I can, you know, paint it all the way around, and it doesn't, you know, this doesn't matter because it's going to be glued anyway. But like when I would use the blue painter's tape, I couldn't get all the way around. And if I have any of the hot glue stuck on there, see, like this right here, I'm not worried about it because it's going to be glued down anyway. And that'll make more sense in just a minute. All right. So let's see. Okay. So another thing I like to do is add some doodling. Oh, I almost forgot. Also, what I like to do on my trucks. Thank you, Georgiana. Oh, I'm so glad that you found me. I got your text a while ago. Thank you so much. I like to use this silver, what's it called? Shimmering silver metallics paint, just to give a glare on the back of my glass. And so I just use that. I have so many paintbrushes, but then I can never find the exact one that I want to use. Anyway, guys, so what I do is just to give it like where the reflection, you know, is on like the bumper as well as on the back glass. I forgot to do that a while ago before I put my white lines on there, because I was like rushing trying to get things done because I was on that time limit. But that is okay. That is okay. So anyway, that's how I'm going to try to hold it to the side so you can kind of see where you know, like the reflection is. And then also on the back glass as well as on the bumper. And then sometimes I will take some gray paint and also put it over here where it looks like the rear view mirrors. And I forgot to do that earlier as well. So there's like a method to my madness. There is a method to my madness. So Georgiana, you are in Alabama. All right. I love to hear and see where everyone is from. Thank y'all so much, no matter if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching later on YouTube. I so appreciate y'all so much. I'm just going to kind of dry this up a bit. So part one, I will have, it is on my page, but it was my Craft Around the Clock segment earlier today, and we only have 45 minutes to craft. And so yeah, even though I tried to say, oh yeah, I can get all this done in 45 minutes, no, it didn't happen. So this is like part two of that, because I didn't want to, I mean, because I don't know, I just put a lot into my painted projects. And so when I had put out the request the other day, I had said, hey, what do y'all want to see on the Craft and Chat sessions? Hi, Lynn from Oklahoma. When I had put out the question, I said, hey, what do y'all want to see? A lot said patriotic. A lot said, you know, summertime, watermelons, honeybees, you know, lots of that stuff. But the most consistent thing was more painting and hand lettering and patriotic. So that was kind of what I took from it. And so I so appreciate it, because I have lots of great ideas coming up, because I do want to, you know, continue to do this, you know, craft and chat with y'all. What am I doing? I don't want to do that. I want to put some shimmering. Now that this is dry, I want to add just a little bit of the shimmering along the sides of those, you know, rear view mirrors, so that it looks like a reflection. Okay. So then now I'm going to go around and do some doodling around this. And so, you know, I have been on YouTube for many years and been sharing, you know, I love to do the pre-recorded videos because what I'm finding is there's so many, you know, friends that love to watch videos different ways. And so when you watch the replay, you can always fast forward, or what I'm doing now is just doodling, really. I just call this doodling. I just go around and just add, I'm not going to worry about that because all of that's going to be covered up. So I'm just kind of doodling, just like that. And put some black lines in there. Just to add just a little something. And so this is a great way, you know, to kind of see my thought process, what I do. Hang out with me. If I'm live, there's a red live button up in the top corner. If not, that means you're watching on the replay, and I am so glad that you are here. I'm just looking just to make sure everything is dry before I put a varnish on it, because I don't want anything to smear. So I'm just using my heat tool and just using my heat tool just to dry this up. So for my craft and chat sessions in Craft Around the Clock, I was kind of, I started on a Wednesday, and I kind of liked that time slot. And so last week when I went, or a couple weeks ago when I went to, because she does it every 2 weeks, I'm just adding some black here because that looked odd. the Wednesday slots weren't all taken. So I'm like, oh, I had to sign up for Thursday, which would be fine. But I'm kind of a creature of habit when it comes to some things. And so is that going to blend in? I didn't even think about that. Usually I make them red. Let's see. What we're going to do. What you going to do? What you going to do? See, because I didn't even think about that. It's all right. Okay. So then let me get my varnish. And this is the varnish that I like to put on all of my painted projects. And so back to Craft Around the Clock. So someone must have canceled their Wednesday. And so I snatched it up. So I craft every single day. Earlier when on my part 1, I said I only craft on Wednesdays. I'm like, they're going to think I only craft on Wednesdays. No, I craft every single day. I just like to do the Craft Around the Clock. I like to my segment on Wednesday. And so that's why you've been seeing me, you know, live on Wednesday. That's what I like. It's kind of my preference. And so I'm more of a morning crafter because I do my best in the morning. Later in the day, I kind of like, I always say I deflate like a balloon, like, you know? And so as it gets later in the day, I'm like, oh, I gotta, you know, cook supper and do all that stuff. And, you know, my husband is wonderful. He is, you know, I've been crafting for so many years, probably the whole time we've been married, and we've been married 27 years. So it's not unusual, you know, that I'm in my craft room and he's, you know, doing his thing, but he likes to decompress by, you know, after he eats supper, he likes to sit down and watch TV. And so he had, I guess during the pandemic, you know, when there was, you know, everything was closed and stuff, and we had lots of alone time, you know, as far as like family time and stuff, we just kind of adopted the, when I just painted my sign as well, you know, just we started watching TV, watching movies and watching all that stuff. And so he kind of got used to that. So then when I'm crafting later, he's like, hey, you know, what you want to watch? And then it makes me feel bad. I'm like, okay. And so anyway, I am getting older. I used to stay up till like wee hours of the morning and craft and go to work the next day and not have a problem. But I'm getting older and I can't do that anymore. Even being retired from my job, July 31st will be 1 year since I've God has blessed me with the ability to retire from my job of 32.5 years. And when I say retire, that just means that I can do this now. He has me doing this now. That doesn't mean that I'm retired and I'm going to sit and not do anything. I'm, you know, this full-time crafter, and I do the wreaths for the gift shop and all of that. And I'm a mom and a wife and a Fanny. I have a grandson that calls me Fanny, and so he's going to be with me in the summer. He's 7. He'll be 8 in June, and so looking forward to it. But then again, I'm like, he's going to cramp my style, or they're going to cramp my style rather, because they're going to both be here until my son turns 16, and then he's going to get a job, you know, because, you know, he's not going to just be sitting at home doing nothing. I missed a little spot. That's what I was looking at. Anyway, so in the summer, my little grandson, his name is CJ, and so he is going to be with me. And so he's like, Fanny, I have ideas for us to do. And I'm like, okay, well, what's that? He says, well, we can go to the beach and all of that. Guys, we live like 2 hours from the beach, 2 to 3 hours from the beach. I'm like, I don't think we can do that in a day trip. I don't think that's going to be. So my sister has a pool, and so she's like, hey, y'all can come over and swim. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you, because I can't drive to the beach in a day. I might could drive there in a day, but I'm not going to come home in a day. So anyway, so my schedule may be a little bit different when it comes to the summertime. Anyway, but these craft and chats, it's just a way for, you know, you get to know me a little bit more, and I'll chat with you if I'm still live. If I'm doing anything and you have a question about, just leave me a comment and we will answer it. Okay, I don't know why I opened that and I wasn't ready to. I was talking and put the lid back on, Tracy. You know, because then I make dumb decisions like that and wasn't thinking this out. Okay, so I kind of wanted to wait for this to dry. So I have my truck, and I like the more shiny look of the varnish. I know that there's like matte and satin and stuff too. So, oh, okay, let's see here. We got us a troll. Yes. Okay, let's see here. We need to ban. We got us a troll. Oh, I think I have finally. Okay. Yes. All right. So I have myself a troll. Guys, I am by myself. So if y'all see something wonky like that just was, please let me know, because I get the trolls on Facebook and YouTube. Yep, Facebook and YouTube. So let me see here. All right. So if y'all see something odd, you're like, hey, you need to block this person. Block. Okay, got him. Zapped him. All right. So now what I'm going to do is, that's what I have these tumbling tower blocks, because it's going to give me some dimension, because I want to be able to raise this up, because I'm going to put some things in my truck bed, like for my Patriotic in my truck bed. So I just cut off just pieces of styrofoam that's kind of like the same size as my tumbling tower block, and that is what I'm going to put on right here. Because the styrofoam, what that does, guys, is, and I may have painted too many. This is what oh my goodness. I'm going to get it together. Get it together. All right. So what I'm doing is, I like to add a combination of the E6000 as well as the hot glue to my blocks, so that it gives extra protection. And so then usually, and I'm just wasting all of my E6000. I know that it comes in the larger tubes, but I just do better, you know, by wasting it in from these smaller tubes. OMG. See, guys, this is why I can, you know, just show y'all when I'm crafting what I do. This is what I do, you know, just make mistakes and waste my glue and do silly stuff, you know, like when I would, let me see, let me get this up. When I would, you know, I would like do the pre-recorded, I would then cut it out, you know, cut that part out. And which I still do the pre-recorded, because I just do like to do that. Oh my gosh. Y'all think that I am just crazy, because I am just wasting all of my glue. What the heck? This tube, it's like oozing. It doesn't usually do that. How weird. It usually doesn't ooze out like that. So I just put some styrofoam right there because that's what I'm going to stick my stuff in. My extra embellishments and stuff like that. Okay. All right. I promise we're getting this. We're going to be wrapping this up. And so that's what's good about the replay is that, you know, you can fast forward, you can, you know, go back and it's like, what did she say? So what I'm doing is adding some E6000 as well as the hot glue and put that there just like that. So what I'm making is a door hanger, a patriotic door hanger, because when I put the question out to my community the other day, the consensus was more hand painting, patriotic, hand lettering, and so that's what I was just trying to do that today. Let's see. It just really kind of blends in, doesn't it? Well, that's a bummer. I'm going to put a white swoosh on it so it kind of stands out. Or I have some, but I don't have it handy. I have some red glittery paint, some stickles, some red glittery paint that I'm going to stickle it and make it shiny where it sticks out. Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay. So I've already made my bow because earlier I knew that I wasn't going to have time to do the bow. So this, I just made like a messy bow with just different, you know, different ribbons, patriotic ribbons and lace and raffia and stuff, all the country stuff. And so then to add to my, I wanted a little flag to kind of stick in there, but I didn't have, all I had were these bigger flags, and that's way too big, way too big. And so I need to find a small flag to put in here. I found these little firecrackers, but they're all glued together. I got them from Hobby Lobby. And so I'm like, yeah, I don't want to use that. But that was kind of like my thought process. So then I said, well, we're going to just put in some little splatters. Not splatters. What do you call these? You call these foam scatters. I got these from the Dollar Tree. I think that's a Dollar Tree. Anyway, so then also what I was going to do is put some of this greenery. I got some little daisies here. This is like one of my favorite flowers from Hobby Lobby. These little greenery. And so I love those. So Christine says it does look good. I'm not quite sure what you mean, the truck, or were you talking to me, or were you talking to somebody else? Oh, my Excelsior. See guys, I just put so many different like elements into my projects. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. And if I get too boring, you can fast forward if you're watching on the replay. But I use this fine Excelsior. Now I get this one at Joann's. And it is a bit messy, but that's okay. I'm not gonna worry about it sticking out or anything because I'm not gonna glue it because once I stick my things in there, they're gonna like help hold it down. Anyway, so I'm gonna stick some of these flowers in there. Just kind of work on it like this. Just kind of work on it like that. And so, you know, I can piddle paddle like nobody's business. I don't know if anybody else is like that. Just piddle paddle. I do try to craft every single day, either working on a video for Facebook or my YouTube channel, doing wreaths for the gift shop. That's why I try to I've been trying to film as much as I can because so many people have found me and they like to do wreaths as well. This one's a little short, so that's why I need to glue that in. So I'll just continue to add some of those little embellishments. And then for the foam, I have some toothpicks. And one thing I like to do, I like to use my paper piercer to kind of get my hole started. And then kind of glue the toothpick in there. And I just went all the way through. See, that foam just kind of helps stick my stuff in the, I guess I don't need to put a hole in it because I can just stick the toothpick in it. Silly. Silly, silly. Just gonna kind of, you know, put my little stars and stuff in there. And then that styrofoam in the truck helps me with, I want to just kind of use some of these smaller ones so that I can get more greenery and stuff. Hi, Verlin. How are you doing, sweetie? Thanks for watching. If you're watching live here on YouTube, I mean live on Facebook, or if you're watching later on YouTube or watching the replay, I so appreciate y'all. So just kind of sticking that, let's see, maybe I need a dowel because that toothpick is a little too small. So I'm getting my package of dowels, or like skewers, so that I can get a little bit longer. So let's get a different one. That has a funky end, so let's use this side. So I'm cutting it off a little bit shorter because I don't want it to stick through. I don't want it to stick through the bottom, but I want it to stick up just a little, like that. And I'll probably put more greenery and stuff in there. I just don't want to bore y'all with all of that stuff, but this is kind of what my thought process is. I was just going to layer some of these in there. I'm going to fill that in with greenery, different things. I'm going to glitter these up so that they stand out a little bit more, but I need to find my glitter glue. But I wanted to kind of show y'all my thought process when it comes to that. And so I may put some more of those in there. And then also I have these that I got from Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby, my favorite store. Anyway, so, you know, I just kind of thought that, you know, because, I don't know, to me, patriotic, you need to be, oh, that's two whites together. That didn't look good. You know, it needs to be shiny and sparkly and stuff. So I thought about putting some of these in here. Okay. Oops. And these are just little foam, let's see what they're called. They're called scatters and fillers. And so these I had on hand. That one went through. I don't like that. It went through all the way. So we'll save that for a different project. I'm going to put a blue one in here too so y'all can see how that looks. But I will put, you know, once I do the picture I'll have everything put together in it, but I want to put it on my board and show y'all my door hanger. And then I pulled this out too, which is like some little sparkles and stuff, but I don't know, I may have to. See, it has these little sparkles and different things. I may put some of that in there. Then I had pulled out some of this, you know, from the Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby and stuff. You know, not put all of it, but put like just different pieces up, just giving ideas. That's what I do. I just like to give ideas, and, you know, because I craft and do different things, and so then I love it when, you know, sweet friends share over in my Country Charm Crafty community. It is my free Facebook group that you know, you can share your creations with me. You can share your creations with me. Okay, all right. So, and I also like to add some dimension. See, guys, when I like to kind of think of things as I craft, go along. Sometimes I don't like plan everything out because it doesn't work like that for me. That's not how God made my brain. So I just kind of craft as I go. All right, so I have this thicker fun foam that I got from, I think I got this from Hobby Lobby. And it was, I've had it for a while, but I like it because it's thick. And so I'm just cutting off pieces because I want to pop up my, I want to give some dimension to my, I love dimension. So I want to like give some dimension to it. And so this is already red. So my next trip to Hobby Lobby, I need to see if they still have it. Or if, I don't know, which I could always like layer the different fun foams. But anyway, I don't want to press down. Let me pull out my oozing glue again. And I like to use the E6000 as well as the hot glue. The E6000 gives it the permanent hold, and the hot glue gives it the like instant hold. So I so appreciate y'all hanging out with me and finishing up this door hanger. I had to split it up into two parts, like I mentioned earlier, because I was on my Craft Around the Clock segment, and that's only 45-minute time slots. So I had to stop and then invite you back to my page later, because in the Craft Around the Clock group, you know, other people are on, you know, it goes from like 6 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night, I think. And then you can watch the replays and stuff as well. But I didn't want to cut into anyone else's time because that's not the right thing to do. So I appreciate y'all coming back and kind of hanging out with me. So this is how our side is looking. Oh my goodness. Like I said, this is probably going to go on a wreath. But it has the little hangers at the top, the little holes rather, not the hangers, the little holes at the top. I use this board from the Dollar Tree. It has this jute, but you know, you can always make your own hanger. And so I had just made a messy bow. Just put some different ribbons and stuff in there. And so I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. Since I am going to be putting this on a wreath, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put it. So the gift shop that I designed for is requesting some Patriotic and 4th of July wreaths, so that's what I'm doing. So that's what I'm doing, is doing some patriotic and 4th of July crafts. And so for the, whoops, are you not going to, I didn't glue it, did I? I didn't glue it. So that's why you're supposed to glue it, Tracy. Yeah. So you're supposed to glue it. Okay. And so then I will continue. I'll fill more, you know, greenery and put some more flowers and stuff in. I'm not finished with that. And I'm going to glitter up these so that they stick out like a little bit more, because red, this needs to be, I painted it the same color. That was dumb. Don't make that mistake. Don't paint your taillights the same color as your truck. Silly, 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 silly. But I was doing red, white, and blue for 4th of July, patriotic. Probably going to put my bow up here like this. I love it. I don't know what y'all think. Anyway, but I appreciate you hanging out with me, coming back to finish this patriotic door hanger. I do. I love it so much. I will post pictures of the finished, you know, project. And thanks, Erin, for loving it. Berlin is asking how I'm doing. I'm doing better once I finish my project. I love it so much. And I just love being able to share my gifts and talents that the Lord has given to me with so many of you sweet friends. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll be back, you know, again with another craft and chat, you know, doing something from your list of things that you have given to me. So I want to do some watermelons. I want to do some more patriotic things. We're just beginning the patriotic season. I know someone said that they just finished. They're not doing any more patriotic crafts, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to get busy. Anyway, I would love it if you would follow my page if you're not already following. Subscribe on YouTube. I do have playlists full of more crafts like this, you know, with painting and trucks, and this is not attached. I haven't attached it yet. Painting and trucks and wreaths and, you know, just different floral things. I love to dibble dabble with a whole lot of stuff. I appreciate you all so much for hanging out with me and spending some of your time with me. Y'all have a blessed day. All right. Talk to y'all soon.